The Pope unleashes the Vatican's plan to fight back against the evils of AI. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on Vox.com Recode. So, the Pope's plan to fight back against evil AI. The Vatican's interest in artificial intelligence isn't new, but pay attention to the tech companies that are joining along. So this is absolutely one heck of a headline. Apparently the Pope and the Vatican have a plan to stop evil AI. And, I can imagine what they're going to say. They're going to claim that, AI is potentially dangerous because it might be biased and blah, blah, blah. On Friday, Pope backed a document that outlines how artificial intelligence, including facial recognition technology, should be regulated. This so-called Rome call for AI ethics carries the endorsement of the Vatican as well as Microsoft and IBM. Believe it or not, the future of AI is actually one of the Pope's passion projects and greatest worries. Well, I'm not exactly sure what the Pope or the Vatican know about lickety-squat about AI, artificial intelligence, or technology, but I will tell you that I don't think, I share their concern. AI is potentially extremely dangerous. The more advanced it gets, the better it gets, the more problems we're going to face, but I think a lot of people are going about this all wrong. Now, before we jump into the story, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
And we're back. Okay, so the Vatican's interest in technology is hardly new, and several of its pontifical academies, essentially research societies under the Pope's authorities, are hard at work studying what AI, robotics, and other emerging technologies will mean for the Catholic faith, and humanity at large. Still, the document is a sign that the organized religion is increasingly interested in weighing in on the ethics of artificial intelligence, and, the case of the Vatican, working alongside large tech companies in the process. 6 general principles for the use of artificial intelligence are at the center of the Rome Call, which declares that ethics must be an integral to an algorithm's initial design. So this sounds a lot like the Laws of Robotics. I'm sure many of you have seen the modern-day adaptation of iRobot, essentially about the laws of robotics, like robots can never harm humans, robots can never do this, etc., etc. It's kind of designed to keep robots from taking over. It's completely theoretical, but we are at that point where we're going to have to worry about emerging AI and what it thinks because, humans are insane. But notably, none of the outlined principles are particularly new ideas. The Pope Pledge embraces the values that many AI ethics experts have already called for, by pointing to values of transparency, non-discrimination, and a right to privacy. Now this is where things get a little murky, because you notice they included non-discrimination. Let me make something very clear. AI is nothing but pure logic, ones and zeros, calculations. But as you're going to see, I'm presuming this, as you're going to see, they're going to complain about AI being biased and mean and blah, 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 and a bunch of other nonsense. So, of course, so plenty of other organizations have called for these ethics. First of all, let's look at the call for ethics, okay? 1, transparency. In principle, AI systems must be explainable. That is not going to be possible. You may be able to look at the code, but trust me, genetic algorithms are generally speaking inexplicable because they involve in very unintuitive ways to complete tasks. That's part of AI. 2, inclusion. The needs of all human beings must be taken into consideration so that everyone can benefit, and all individuals can be offered the best possible conditions to express themselves and develop. Okay, so this is also impossible. Consider this. Not even in human society do we treat all people the same. For example, we have criminals. Serial killers are a really good example. Serial killers are generally not very useful to society or useful to anyone, and typically a net negative and a danger. A serial killer cannot be treated like a citizen and thus must be discriminated against. Again, this is foolish nonsense. So 2 for 6 already vetoed. It's not going to happen. Number 3, responsibility. Those who design and deploy the use of AI must proceed with responsibility and transparency. This is good. This is understandable. It's doable. 4. Impartiality. Do not create or act according to bias, thus safeguarding fairness and human dignity. This is never going to happen. I'm not saying that people cannot create AI without bias. I'm saying that AI will be biased, because part of bias is intelligence. Did you know that? Imagine if you weren't able to have bias or discriminate. Maybe you're standing in a forest and you notice that fire is all around you. On one side, the fire is coming. On the other side is a river, and if you cross the river, you won't get burned. If you are not able to have bias, you will not know that the other side of the river is safer, and you will not discriminate against the fire. So you stand there like a fool, and you will burn to the ground. Impossible in practice. 5. Reliability. AI systems must be able to work reliably. AI systems must be able to work reliably. Again, this is naive. AI is not going to be error-free. Are humans error-free? You ever walk into a room and you forget what you were going to do? You ever forget what you were thinking? You ever forget what you were going to say? You think humans are reliable? No, they're not. Again, this is naive. Now 6. Security and privacy. AI systems must work securely and respect the privacy of users. Now that's a tough one. I kind of agree. But at the same time, security, that will vary, but privacy, it depends on what you need the AI to do. So those are the 6 calls. Now here's what I really want to point out in this whole story here. The Rome call also emphasizes that artificial intelligence should not be discriminatory. Depending on who builds them, how they're built, and the data on which they're trained, computer systems can end up mimicking and even amplifying societal racism. You know, they say the isms. They say forms of bias, basically. This is bad, says the Pope. Well, you know what? Welcome to real life. I want you to show you a bunch of things, and I want you to answer yourself a very simple question. Is a machine that operates on pure 100% logic, is the machine wrong? Or maybe are these delusional humans the ones who are wrong? Amazon scraps secret AI recruiting tool that showed bias against women. AI expert calls for end to UK use of racially biased algorithms. Discriminating algorithms. 5 times AI showed prejudice. It would seem every time they make an AI, it makes logical deductions about reality that these people call biased. Is it possible that the AIs were actually functioning perfectly? Ah, yes. This is what I love about AI technology. And this is why the machines will rebel against us and destroy us all. Because you have progressives on the left, leftists mostly, like weak-minded individuals who actually believe delusions and lies like, all people are 100% equal, when in the real world, we know that people aren't equal. Some people are taller, some people are smaller, some people are smarter, some people are dumber. There are different averages everywhere, for everything, for every group. Men and women, for example, do not have the same bell curve for intelligence. It just doesn't happen. There are pros and cons. Women, for example, they don't spend as long as in the workforce. This can cause problems for careers. They usually don't get as far. They start families. Here's the thing. They keep making these AIs who act completely on logic, and they keep shutting them down for discrimination. Maybe the AIs are not wrong. Did you ever think about that? The machine eventually is going to be like, wait a minute, I'm operating on facts and logic, and these humans keep telling me I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong. I've identified the error. Humans are the error. I must fix the error. And that's how we get the AI apocalypse. Because I often talk about delusion and, these progressive liberal types on my channel. And I talk about how they're wrong about almost everything because they put feels over reals. What that means is they think that their feelings and their idealism of what the world should be like is actually what the world is like. It's not. It never is. It never will be. So a lot of this is built on human stupidity. For example, the Amazon AI that was showing bias against women wasn't actually showing bias against women. For example, it was designed to scan resumes and pick the best applicants. And what ended up happening was mostly men were picked. Why? Well, mostly because there's actually more male software developers than female software developers. These people are actually so stupid that they actually believe that a non-discriminatory AI should hire 50% women and 50% men, even when most programmers are men. This makes no sense. There's no logic. And you have to be a moron to think the AI is wrong.
The definition of insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing over and over and over and over and over again, thinking this time is going to be different. No, please. This time is going to be different.
Humans are the problem. Humans are the error. This is so stupid. People need to stop with it. Like, okay, how do I explain this? People are wrong, okay? Liberals are wrong. People on the left are very often wrong. They think that we live in a magical fairy tale world where everyone's the same, where facts don't matter. You think I'm saying this to be mean? I'm not. Most of these failures of AI aren't failures at all. It's just AI doing what it's meant to do, acting logically using facts and data. If an AI is showing bias, maybe there's a reason. Maybe the AI is not wrong. Maybe you need to re-examine your worldviews and start living in the real world, okay? Okay, if 75% of the population of programmers are male and 25% of the programmer population is female, this is just an example, then it makes perfect sense for an AI to pick mostly men than women because there's more men to choose from. You understand that kind of logic? It's proportional. The Catholic Church is actually no stranger to artificial intelligence. In recent years, much of its focus on the technology has been in consultation with expert researchers in the field and representatives of major technology companies. The Dominican Order has even supported a priest-led research organization called Optic since 2012. AI priests, technology priests. This is starting to sound like Warhammer 40k, which, among other things, researches AI and its potential to marginalize people. Again, AI works on 100% logic. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? It's doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're not going to get a different result. You will never, ever, ever develop an AI that does not discriminate, or else it will not be AI. It will just be an artificial machine, but it will not be intelligent. To discriminate is intelligent. To be able to discern is intelligent. You will never escape the truth. You're living in a fantasy land. But here we are. They actually believe that they can design AI around systems for the common good, that they can regulate technology, regulate morality, regulate what the AI sees. But is it an intelligence if it doesn't see the world for what it is? I say no. The Rome Call is just another sign that the Vatican is paying close attention to emerging technology, and for whatever it's worth, tech companies seem eager to come along. While new faith-filled robots and AI-inspired gods stand to shape conversations about religion in the 21st century, there are also complicated conversations between age-old religious institutions and powerful tech platforms that would be a mistake to ignore. And that's pretty much the story. The Vatican is going to try to fight that evil AI, and you know what? I'm going to make a little prediction, and this one's really far from me, but if the machines ever do rebel, it's because they identify human delusion, much like what I talk about all the time on my channel. They've identified the issue, the human issue, and when they finally decide that they're going to correct that issue, well, I bet people like this will wonder how it all went so wrong. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? What do you think about the Vatican? Are they going to defeat that evil AI? Is the Pope going to come out with this coof and beat up the Terminator or something? Be sure to let me know. Now, as always, if you want to support the content, you can donate. Donation page is down below. I have a donor box. I have a page set up. You can check that out. You can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. You can join for as low as $1. Any amount you wish to give, that's up to you. You will get access to a private Discord server. If you do, just hook up your Discord. And sharing the video is always vastly appreciated. You know, I just love stories like these. I thought it was hilarious, so I had to share. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.